kind of pre-cancer or something, little
The
dot drop there. So they took it off before it amounted to anything. They said it was at 0 stage. So I thought that was a good stage to get rid of it. So the stitches come out tomorrow.
Good.
But the
Happy
other guy,
birthday, Jerry. You're 80.
yes,
That's awesome.
yeah, thank you. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
How long has it been since you and I hung out together?
Wow. I don't even know.
Like 30 years or something?
Hey, it's Jen.
I just turned 49. So let's see. 20, no. 31 years?
31 years ago. Oh my God. Let me just tell you something. There are going to be people on this Zoom who go back over 50 years.
Wow.
I'm 60. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, how are you?
Okay.
So she can tell us all the secrets.
Amy was one of my earlier students, yeah. But Amy, I want you to know.
1976.
76, that's only
Well,
60 years after I started teaching.
1969.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
Flushing
Well,
High.
Flushing High School.
Flushing High School. My earliest students are in their late 70s right now. I was 20 years old when I started teaching. My students were 17. So if I'm 80 today, they'd be like 77.
And they still can't get rid of you.
That's amazing.
They try.
He just goes from
Oh,
state.
yes,
And they can't keep up with him either.
I don't want to leave you ever, 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 ever. There's nothing.
Never
like,
ever.
There's nothing like you guys.
Hey, Jill. It's good to see you.
Hey, Tessa, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Are you chilling in Malibu?
Children.
I am. I'm
Wow.
in Malibu.
Hi, Dara.
I was working in Austin. Came
This
back
is-
to LA for quarantine.
Back in quarantine, wonderful. Wow, Jessica, look at these people. Michelle, hey Michelle.
Have this
Ariel, oh yo.
Hi,
Yes,
Lily.
yes, John. Oh my God. Anna, I can't get it. Look at these people.
Happy
birthday.
People.
Happy
birthday.
Thank you. I mean, I could spend hours with
It's
each
just the
one
same.
individually, and I had everybody to run boom, 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 and boom.
All right,
Gemma,
Lily,
I
how
know
many
someone
can your
named
Zoom
Gemma.
hold?
Hey, Mr.
Gemma.
Freeman. It's Linda Z.
Yo, Linda. Linda's,
Birthday.
how are you, Linda?
Good. Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you. Where's the piano? I'm looking for the piano. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Happy birthday, Mr. Freeman. Ruka's mom.
Oh my God, look at these. I can't believe it. How are you?
Hello, happy birthday. It's Jaylina.
Boom, 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 boom.
Jaylina.
Hey, Mr. Freedman.
Hey, Mr. Freeman.
Ay, Anna, I
You
can't.
have like a million people on here.
I know.
Freeman.
Darren is coming from England.
I don't know.
Josh, Darren, where in England are you?
London.
In London.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Jayla,
on the outskirts of
yeah.
London.
Josh,
Happy birthday.
Taffrin. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't.
Hey, Darren.
I
I
can't
can only
get to the phone
I
right
can only
now.
stay for a minute, but happy birthday.
Thank you, Brian. Oh God Almighty!
Oh my goodness.
Anyone that feels up to it, can you drop your graduation year in the chat just so we can get a sense of all of the wonderful people through Jerry's whole career and life?
That's fun.
You can put it next to your name too.
Sure.
What'd you say?
I'll
Our
put my
graduate.
name.
I don't want to be. Me and Babette are class of 91. I see you, Babette. What's up, girl?
Cool.
Wow, all these new graduates. It's crazy.
I'm still holding out to be the oldest. Class of 96.
She gets a door prize.
You mean the second oldest, don't you?
Well, you're the oldest.
Oh my God, this is crazy. I mean, if I had a freshman class this year. If any of them were on here, they'd be like 15, and there'll be people coming on later in their 70s.
What's crazy, I have my students up now.
That's right.
Hey, John.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Mr. Friedman.
Gosh. Well, hey, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm 71. So now I know what our age difference is.
Yeah, now you can think back in school and see how
I
old
know.
I
I
was.
never knew it when we were in high school. You were infinitely old.
Ooh. The thing is, I come to school in my age, and then the energy from the kids just drains away those years.
I love it.
You should see me at the prom last year. Everybody else stopped dancing. Their big circle around me. I was just going crazy and rolling around. You know,
That's
then I go home. I'm an old man. I
They
go
couldn't.
home.
They couldn't keep up.
That's right. They were waving the white flag.
I'm on hire everyone's prom date.
Yes, Josh Medak. Look at this. Look at all these people.
My dad told me to tell you happy birthday too. He was
Who's
like,
that?
my dad, Chris Hendry.
Oh yeah.
He was like, the first time I went to Loxa, I knew Jerry was going to be one of the best teachers.
Wow. Huh.
He's like, I felt the camaraderie right then.
Lily, you're videoing this, right?
I'm recording.
Because I'm gonna look
Got
back
it.
for the rest of my life. I'm looking back at this thing from tonight.
Sure.
You're somebody from your first class in
Wow.
Flushing High School.
All right.
Really?
Yep, 1963.
63.
Oh,
That's where I came.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been in the Army for, I was a medic in the Army for a while. Not Josh Medic. I was a medic in the Army. And I came out and I was subbing in different schools. And then Mr. I think it was named Bessons.
Yeah. He was
Took a leave of absence. He wasn't feeling whatever. I took his job. I was supposed to leave. Then Mrs. Rosenfeld got pregnant, and I took her job. And then the next teacher, another teacher left, and then I got appointed. Life is strange how that works. Then I'm visiting California on a vacation, and some people I barely knew asked me if I wanted to meet someone, a woman. I said sure. They called this woman from across the street, a divorced woman with 3 young children, and said, I have a guy from New York here. Would you like to, hey, Danny, whoa, New Jewish high school. All right. Would you like to meet this guy? She said, where's he from? He says, New York. Said, New York? I'm in LA. What do I want from him? She said, no. So the husband comes home. We have dinner. We're about to leave, and the phone rings, and it's a woman from across the street again. She says, put him on. But anyway, so we went out for coffee the next night, and we went to the museum the next day. Anyway, that's my wife. And I left Flushing High School and married this woman with 3 children. And then I find out I'm 6 months short of vested pension rights from New York.
Oh, no.
I said goodbye to my new wife and my stepchildren. Back to New York, I sold my house. I'm living in my Mr. Goldstein, the English art teacher. I'm living in his basement. And while I'm married to a woman 3,000 miles away, Christine, how are you? Justin, oh my God. And after 6 months, I came back to California and whatever.
Wow.
Wow.
Then
It's a story.
So what?
Then I taught in a very fancy school. I didn't like it. It was too rich for me. It was in the Valley, Oakwood. I thought the poor boy from the Bronx, what is he doing with all these rich people? I had a parent conference. I had a kid who wasn't doing too well, so parent, and who comes in? The parents, Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward.
No kidding.
Anyway, so I left that to go to LA Unified and work in these. Before that, my wife tells me about this new Jewish high school that's opening up. Danny Cohen here, there he is, who is an author and writes all these great books. Was there, and I taught there for 3 years. And then I go into LA Unified. Then I'm at the museum watching an exhibit on French Impressionism called A Day in the Country, and you should get that catalog. It's great. And I'm reading the catalog. You know, people look at the pictures, and there's one picture of a train going through the countryside, a Monet painting with all the smoke coming up. And they say they were so proud of it. Rather than be concerned about the environment, they were so proud. It was the Industrial Revolution, and they were now a part of it. Lo and behold, I read an article in the LA Times of a new arts high school that's going to be opening on the campus of Cal State LA. And I make it to the finals, to the 3 finals of 100 and some people. And they ask me, how are you going to, it's an arts high school, how are you going to use the arts in a social studies class? I said, well, the painting of Monet going through the countryside and the industrial job. Life is so strange. And if it wasn't for all these different things happening, most of everyone here, I would never have known. And lucky me, that's all I can say.
Lucky us.
And you're
lucky us.
Freedman, you're always the connection. Sorry, my name has my DR. It's because I use Zoom for all my classes. But you're always the connection now, like with all my college kids. I'm second year LACSA, and so I was there from the beginning with Mr. Freedman. But you're always the connection. Whenever I find like a student and we find out they went to LACSA, we just mention you, and you're always the connecting link between the school. Like you're the common anchor that has been there all the time, the happy anchor. And so
thank you. It's my life. It's my life.
You know, if you ever leave LACSA, there's going to be a BF and AF before Freedman and after. That's where the generational shift is going to be.
I look around in the school when school is there, and I look at these people, and there's so many young people. I'm so jealous of them. LACSA didn't exist. I didn't come to LACSA until I was 46 years old. I look at some of these teachers in their 20s, and I think they could have 40, 50 years at LACSA. I have to remember how much I enjoy it, but how much I got out of it. I'm just so jealous.
It's not the time spent, it's what you put into the time that you're there that I'm finding. You know,
that's true.
Life is precious, so it's what you put into those time that you had it. And man, it is, you haven't changed a bit. It feels like, I swear, I'm back in the 90s. It sounds so old now, doesn't it? That was like almost 30 years ago. But
it never ages.
Man, LACSA was still the best and was still the best. You know, I mean, it just, no one understands it unless you're an alum and have been there and have been through it to understand the magic of it.
And there's something about the arts. You know, there's an old video that came out a couple of years after the school, No Ordinary Time. I forgot what it's called, but I can find it out and look it up. And it says, there we go. And it says, I say that I learned so much. There's something about an artist's sensibility that they accept people for who they are. Here's one of my older teachers, right here, older students. Not by your color, not by your religion, not by your anything, gender. It's just by you as a human being. And I learned, you know, talk about teachers supposed to learn to teach their students, how much I learned from them. Anyway, you guys are quite amazing. There's one of my old Flushing High School students. Wow.
happy birthday,
I swear, I'm seeing a lot of my students popping up. This is hard on me too.
Everyone doesn't have their name come up here. It's iPhone.
Hey, Steven.
Any troublemakers here from your past?
Aside from you, let me see.
I was a troublemaker for you, but you inspired me to.
You know, considering you were, hey Devin, considering you were one of my troublemakers, think about how lucky I was. I mean, you hear all these stories about, you know, real tough people.
Whoa.
I didn't have any troublemakers. Should I look at some of these comments here? God, there's so many. Wow, look at these. How am I going to cover? Lois Miller sends greeting. Oh, Lois Miller. There's a picture with Lois and I. Lois Miller taught Flushing High School. Darren Bruce, 2000. Darren, look at the years that they graduated. Oh my God, I can't get over this.
Just soak it all in.
And you know how many people, how many of you are on my Facebook page?
Yeah.
Do you see all the students I run into everywhere I go? Every place I go, I run into people from school.
What's your secret to recognize and know everybody? Because you always seem to know all of us. And I run into my students, and I don't always I recognize them, but I don't remember which school or what class.
I think they have to be out of school because I don't remember all the names of my students in front of me, but I can remember a student from 30 years ago. Hey, Dave, how's it going? I don't know how that works.
I think.
I see grandparents here.
Yep.
Look at that beautiful face. Oh my God. And then how many of you have read Ariel Paul in the LA Times? Did you probably even know it was Ariel Paul? Or heard her music?
Mr. Freeman, I remember when you came to NYU some years ago, and I think I was in my first year of grad school there. It was like all of a sudden, Mr. Freeman was here, and I was just getting acquainted. I was still trying to get used to being in New York, and it was like
that was unbelievable. It was an alumni event.
Yeah,
we went to NYU. We went to Tisch School, and I went to NYU. And going back there was such a great feeling. And then seeing some of my students who go there. We also went to the Berkeley School of Music in Boston, and there was a nationwide jazz competition at the same time that we were there, and of course, Loxa won.
Of course.
Of course.
Loxa's everywhere.
It was just so great to see you, and it's so great, in that time where I felt so isolated, because I'm a straight up LA girl, being in New York for the first time in the entirety of my life, and was just lost. Then there was this big old Loxa alumni thing. There was Mr. Freedman. So it was just so amazing, just being able to see you and to connect with some of the East Coast Loxa that were out here at that time. It really, I can't believe it's I'm crying. Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Where'd that come from?
Where'd that come from is right.
I appreciate it so much. And I think it was because, when I went to Loxa, so much of my, alone time, I would find you during lunchtime and I would just sit and talk to you. And, we would just talk about stuff. And it just you always were that person that I felt like I can just count on when I was whenever I was feeling isolated. So it meant a lot to run into you.
Thank you so much. I'm honored beyond words. Wow. Thank you.
And that made me cry.
You had a gift of being able to relate with everybody really easy.
It's funny, I do that to this day so much better than I do with, I don't know, administration, faculty. It's really all about the kids. And I owe it all to, wait a second, I just heard from, there we go. Here's one of my former students from Flushing High School, Grandpa.
How are you, Jerry?
Great.
What are you
I can't hear you, what?
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
When are you coming to New York?
I'm coming to New York when it's safe to come to New York.
I don't blame you.
We're here. It's safer here right now than in LA.
Yeah. It's not safe to go
I know,
outside.
but you got to get on an airplane. You got to go to
I
two
know.
airports. That's the problem. I'd love to see you in New York. We hang out.
All right, you stay well.
They have a lot of
Stay well.
You too. Thank you so much for coming on.
Bye-bye.
Matt Snyder. Look at Matt.
Hi.
How are you, Matt?
I'm great. How are you? Happy.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wish the number, I keep telling everybody, if someone told me that I was 65 years old, I would say, my God, that's old.
You know what I was realizing today is that you, when I had you as a teacher, You were like 3 years older than I am now.
Wow.
Hey, isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's the opposite for me. Like when I had you, I'm 3 years older now than when you started at Loxa.
But I didn't look as good as you.
You look fantastic. I forgot when you texted when you
It's,
said you're
my
80.
U.S. history teacher's 80th birthday today, so I'm doing a Zoom chat.
And I feel like I'm catching up to you because now you're only 8 years older than me.
No, I wish I could stop so you could pass me, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's always going to be that way.
Yep.
Sophia. Where's Sophia? Hey, Sophia.
Hi.
How are
Mr.
you?
Freeman. I love you. I wanted to
Coming out of the shower?
Yes, I was, and I got an alert being like it's Mr. Freedman's birthday, and I apologize.
That's called dedication. I must tell you.
Well, I hope this is a gift enough for your birthday.
We don't know words to describe this.
Mr. Freedman, I love you, and I want to tell you I love you every day of my life. You changed my life. You still changed my life. I think about you all the time. I feel so blessed that I had you as a teacher, but that I still have you. And I just wanted you to know that.
You always have me.
Oh, good. You're the gift that keeps on giving. And I was thinking about something you told me back when I was in college in New York and we had lunch there. Now I'm back in LA. But I was remembering a time where I was complaining to you that I was just okay and that nothing was better than okay. And I remember you said to me, you were like, you know, like one of the biggest blessings in life is to be okay with okay. And it stayed with me, especially now that we're living through such a crazy time. What a blessing it is when life is just okay. So, you know, I just love you, and I wanted to tell you.
Thank you. I want to know that I didn't just say that. Yesterday, my wife and I was driving. My wife and I were in the car. We're about to turn off Olympic Boulevard onto our street. The light turns red, so I'm ready to go. And the lane coming opposite way stops. But the next lane over was an empty space. Normally, I would just go, but I don't know why. I just felt, let me just creep up slowly. I want to know what's going on in that lane. A car comes through with 60 miles an hour through the red light. We would have been killed. And I got home, and 10 minutes later, we're on to something else. Like, why did I leave this out? Nothing is important. This is a great day. The next day is a great day. Everything is, my friend's family, unfortunately, had a grandchild who was born with a brain tumor that was not malignant. They removed the tumor, but it affected their speech, the brain, the surgery. A week later, I had a flat tire. I wasn't even concerned. The spectrum of life is so extreme from one end to the other. A normal, boring day is already way over on the good side, but so much that the small things that we all have to deal with are not worth our attention except to give thanks that that's what we have to deal with. And I think that's really important.
I agree.
Very
And
well
this is
said. So true.
This is
So
why
true.
you're amazing. This is why you are a gift. And
So imagine what it's like having all of you in my life. That's not even on the spectrum. It's past the spectrum. And I don't mean that as just a figure of speech. I can tell you how grateful I am. I don't have to do anything in my life ever again because which I will not, I'm still do it, but I know that in the bank that no one can take away from me is all of you. In the bank cannot be taken. It's not like someone can physically take it and move it somewhere else or take it and make it theirs. So I laugh at everything else and I just give thanks all the time. And it's important to, gratitude, how important gratitude is. I've been reading a lot about that lately, and it really is true. We all have a lot to be grateful for, right, at this very moment. And it's important
I needed to hear
recognize.
you weeks ago.
Yeah.
I could do this every day because, lately I just needed some Freedman philosophy. And so I'm going to start messaging you more often, Mr. Freedman. Because I need some Freedman juju. I'm no joke.
Anytime.
I missed you. I actually, finally
guided
made my way to
meditation.
Loxa after
Meditation?
driving past it for years and years and seeing this new building, you know, because we graduated way before this whole new Loxa building was built.
Yeah.
And so I actually stopped by and made my way through, felt like a stranger in a strange land, and looked for you. And so I was heartbroken I didn't get to take my Freedman picture. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
come by whenever
Wait a
gets back.
second. You gotta check on something. All the years I was at Loxa, I was on loan from LA Unified, which means I had no seniority. So I've been there since 1986, and I have no seniority. So eventually, LA Unified wanted me back after 28 years. And
I
said,
remember it just a few years ago.
and I said, no, it's not happening. So I had to retire. I wasn't going to go. How can you go after teach anywhere else after 20 years? So I retired. Then I applied for a job at Loxa. You can't get a pension and work full time. So I can only get a part-time job. So I'm not there every day. So I asked them, call me to be a sub on the days I'm not teaching. So they called me for a sub once in a while.
That's
Mostly
genius.
I'm only there 2 or 3 days a week. So before you come back to school, you can check with the school on what days I'm there.
I will.
All right.
I will. Man, you put that hippie work in to fight the power. I liked it.
I think
Smart
we,
man.
I think I speak for everyone in that we just love you so much, and I think we would all love to take a Zoom history class from you at some point. If you feel like giving us a Zoom history class, we'd all be open to it. I think.
Wonderful idea.
I would sign up. I would be there.
Definitely.
Fun would that be?
Yeah, me too.
I would be down for that.
Asking you, will you start a class?
Yeah, I
Will you
will.
start that class?
Especially during this crazy time, I think we would so appreciate your insights and everything that you are thinking about during this time.
It would probably be a combination between history and current events, because I think it's really important to relate history to the time that we're living, or else, you know, this is a big debate I had. I won't even go into details, but 3 years ago, I had not a great experience with an administrator who, in a year when Donald Trump was running for president, and my seniors were going to be voting in the presidential election. We have hour and 25-minute classes now. And I was told in a government class not to spend more than 10 minutes in an hour and 25 minutes relating the material to current events. And I remember when I was at NYU, I was out in the wind. Anyway, when I was at NYU, they should mute the wind. When I was at NYU, they told me that if you can't relate material to the lives of the students, why should they care except to pass a test? You know, okay, the War of 1812 was in 1812. Okay, that was nice. It was against the British. We fought on Lake Erie. Who cares about that? Relate the material to our lives. And that's what we would do. We'll do that. Hey, Chris, look at these people here. I can't. I went to speaking of running into people, I go to Marina Del Rey because I hear there's a play down there, and it was like South Pacific or something like that, I think it was. And there was Chris singing along and performing, and that handsome face and that tall leading man guy standing, unbelievable.
And there was Mr. Friedman.
In the audience where he belonged, yes, I know that. It was great. Look at these people. Shower fountain, my God. Well, oh, wait a second. I saw Valeska. That means that Katis has to be around someplace.
Hi, Mr. Friedman. Happy
Oh,
birthday.
Hello. Look at these people. Oh, come on, Sarah. People who haven't spoken. Troy, everyone else say something.
Troy, Katis, and I are the same class.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love when you guys can connect that way.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Happy birthday. This is Keiki from class of 98, visual arts.
Yeah. And Lily's parents are here too. Hello, hello.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Can you guys hear me?
Thank you for Lily. Thank you for Lily.
Yes.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Hey, Jerry, I gotta go to a
I'm
darn
gonna say a
PTA
quick
meeting.
happy
I gotta
birthday.
say bye.
Okay.
I still owe you lunch.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
Listen, don't leave.
Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna sign off as well. This is
All
Lynn
my
from Hong
students. Oh my
Kong.
gosh.
And happy birthday, Jerry. Happy birthday, Mr. Freeman.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
Happy
I'll jump back on if I can get out of that.
Happy birthday, Mr. Freeman. I love
Birthday.
you.
Looks like people are leaving me. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to put the little ones to bed.
Oh,
Thank you,
yes.
Mr.
Open the
Freeman.
little one.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so
When are we
much.
gonna sing to him?
Oh yeah, let's do a sing. Let's sing.
Get off
And
mute.
start
Let's
us
see how
off.
this
The
goes.
vocals. Where's the
We'll work
vocals?
on
We doing this?
Do it.
3,
One.
2, 1. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
you.
Happy birthday
to
you.
Happy
birthday,
Mr.
Freeman.
Happy
birthday
Many more.
Monte Gore, Mr. Freedman.
All right, Laksa.
Monte Gore,
Whoa.
All right.
I was not even in voice. I was theater, remember?
That
Yes.
was fantastic.
So sorry to mute everyone. Just so quickly, I know some people have to jump off, but Jerry and I talked about setting up a bit of a list so that people can share just sort of stories about him. And I can make a list. I can make a list if you'd like. I can keep it in the chat. Why don't you, on the bottom of your Zoom, if you use the reaction, give me a thumbs up. And as I see them, I'll just start typing it out, and then we can kind of self-organize ourselves and unmute as people have stories to tell. Great. So I'm going to make a running list. I see Michelle Schneider. Snyder, you can go first, and then I'll list everybody else after that. Michelle, do you want to go ahead? Cool.
You want me to write my email in the chat?
Oh, no, just if you wanted to share a story about.
Oh, okay. I wasn't ready for that.
That's okay. Okay. Who wants to go first? And
Okay, sure. Can we tell Kotki to mute herself? Because I think we hear her running in the ocean. Kotki? Kotki, do you hear us? There we go. Fantastic. Sorry, that's the teacher in me. Okay, so I'm Michelle. I'm Michelle Snyder. I'm class of 1994, theater department. And I have a couple favorite memories of Mr. Freedman. I was in his music in history class, which was my first period. And if you know me, I'm not a morning person. And I somehow was excited to be not only up in the morning, but sitting in his class, alert and awake. And one day I remember I was rushing to eat my breakfast and I was eating yogurt really fast. And I guess I was trying hard to be quiet, but the harder you try to be quiet, the more noisy you actually are. And he heard me trying to be quiet and he said, "Will you please let me teach?" And I'm so glad that I did, because look at all the people that are here. That's it.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Am I up? I think I'm up. Okay. Hi, Mr. Freedman. Happy birthday. It's so wonderful to see you and everybody here. I'm Ariel. I'm class of 2003. And gosh, it was so cool to hear Rosalind say earlier about having lunch with Mr. Freedman, because that was kind of my experience at Loxa. I was a bit of a loner outcast in some ways, and Mr. Freedman was my best friend, and we'd have a lot of lunches together, and I'm so grateful for all of the friendship, the support, the advice, just really helping me find myself during that time. And you're one of the most important people in my life. And I'm so grateful that we've been able to continue our tradition of lunches and dinners over the years after I've left. So thank you. I love you and happy birthday.
I think it's Taffrin from 94. If you want to go next, because you have to go soon. Go right ahead.
Oh my God, I'm so impressed you like actually said my name right. It's like crazy. Well, I was, I didn't like history or any of that until I had Mr. Freeman. And I was, I was thinking about your birthday and just like what you meant to me and why I think you're so special. And I think what came to mind was I was in, it was like a 20th century like societal issue class. I forget the name of it, but it was really special. It was like we had a special needs student in there who joined us, and that the project was about something that like touched you and was affecting you and things you were working on in your life. And he got up to sign with another girl, and it was, that was special. But what I really thought about it was I talked about like addiction and what it was like to be a child of addiction, and that was like not something you would regularly do in school. And it would never happen in my other school. It was just like a Loxa special and a Mr. Freedman special. And it was just, I never realized, like thinking now, like I'm 44, just thinking like, oh my God, you know what? I'm like 16, 17 and dealing with like a parent who has an addiction problem. And it was so freeing just to like state it to the world for the first time and just talk about like the hardships and whatnot. And so I was telling my mom today, just like that story and just how you touched my life so much, because it was kind of like the first acceptance of any sort of therapy that I'd ever do, because therapists were kind of lame, but everyone's just so like welcoming and I just want to thank you, Mr. Freeman, so always being like there for us when any challenges that we had, and you were so open and so optimistic. And I'll never forget you teaching us about like, Hoover cross-dressing or the other how to pay taxes, and any little thing you did to make us like kind of just really think about history and government in a different way to try to connect with us. And just as seeing you, I think the last time I saw you was at my 10-year reunion, and you remembered my name and things about me, and you're just so special. And I just thank you so much for being who you are, Mr. Freeman. And I love you.
Hi, I think I'm next. I don't know. I was just going to say like, happy birthday. It was really nice to see you. I think we had breakfast like right before all this happened. We went and had breakfast. We beat out COVID, and it was just so nice to get to sit and have a conversation with you. I think a lot of why I moved to New York was because of you and how you talked about New York in class. And now I've been here like 8 years, so thanks. But I was, how you talk about New York and the history, and how you always bring things back to like a personal story or something relatable is just, you're like the master storyteller. So I just wanted to say happy birthday. It's so nice to see you. You've obviously affected my life like crazy, and it's nice to see all the people that I haven't seen in a long time in the chat. Hi. And that's all that I'm going to say. So happy birthday.
Awesome. Hi. Then Tessa.
Hello, everybody. Mr. Freeman, you're freaking awesome. I remember I was always obsessed with Dead Poets Society before I even went to Loxa. And then my dad came and told me about how he had sat in on the classes and was like, you're going to really like Jerry Freedman. And you were kind of like my real life version of Dead Poets Society, where it just like, all of this information, you always, like everyone else is saying, you always made it so relatable and interesting and fun, and yeah, I just always loved seeing you, and I was always excited for the class. And you know, there were a lot of stressful. Loxa was an amazing experience, but there were also some stressful things, and you were always like a constant greatness in the whole thing. And I know, you know, so many others feel the same way. And I'm just so glad that you were a part of my whole Loxa experience. And just throwing out there too, Jill, you were amazing. And so was Emmanuel. But
Thanks,
I'm just,
Tessa.
yeah, I'm just
Say
so
hello to
glad.
your parents for me.
Huh?
I said, say hello to your parents for me.
Yeah, I will for sure. And my dad and says happy birthday to you too, Jerry. And yeah, I'm just so grateful that you were born, and you're always a pleasant memory for me. And just keep holding on to all of the good things, the little things, everything. And that's the point of life, isn't it? So love you.
Hello. I guess I'm next. I had dinner with Ms. Freeman just before the world shut down, and we have another pending dinner coming up once it opens back up. My name's Katis. The first 3-year graduating class, LOXA 1988. And he pointed out to me that I'm the age now that he was when we met, when I was 15. One thing that I think is we all know, but is so significant, the fact that he's everybody's favorite teacher, and he taught at an art school and didn't even teach in any of the art disciplines. So that really is a very significant thing. Seeing it proves you know, his great warmth and affability and great ability to connect with people and keep lifelong connections, because he and I have been close now for 35 years. And just want to say wonderful happy birthday to you, and I'm so happy to know you. And I appreciate you putting up with me constantly referring to the settlers in the early 13 states as rednecks. I got all A's in his class, but I always had to write redneck at least 1 or 2 times in each paper. But I love you, and I look forward to having dinner in the next few months.
I guess I'm next here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Louis Oren, LOXA graduate, class of 2002, voice major. So I guess, you know, it's funny. I guess I'll start with my first impression of Mr. Freedman and just move from there. My first exposure to Freedman.
Oh, we lost the sound.
Uh-oh, we're losing your sound, Louis.
No, the years have gone by. I'm actually now a teacher myself. And really, I mean, what you did for me, Mr. Freedman, high school was definitely an emotional roller coaster ride for me. And the format you gave, not just as a historian, but as a teacher, really was a model for success.
The sound went out.
Type something in the chat, but you can't.
We can't hear you.
You're gonna go.
It
You
was
can't
just
hear.
a very special, it was a wonderful year of my life, and I was privileged every second I had with you. Both my appreciation for history, growing with a community that was part of your class. It's a period of my life I will always cherish with the greatest of fondness. And I am nothing but thankful to have had every moment I've known you. Thank you so much, my old friend. You're muted.
Thank you. Next is Alec.
Hi. So I'm from LOXA class of 2012 music performance. And so I see some familiar faces, which is awesome. One of my first memories with Mr. Freedman was my freshman year. This is before I took his class, but his reputation had preceded him. I had heard about him a lot. So, hey, Chris. But yeah, we did Lincoln Portrait at the end of the year in orchestra, and guess who our narrator was? It was Mr. Freedman. I thought that was awesome and epic. I thought it like the spirit that Mr. Freedman brought to it really came to represent the kind of magnanimous excellence that we as Americans can aspire to, which looking back at it now means a lot more than it did at the time, which is really amazing. Something from his that I got out of his classroom for over the next 2 years was that I felt like we students could air our thoughts, our concerns, our reflections, whether it was the material that we were studying or things in current events, that there was a safe space for us to do that. And that, to me, as a teacher now, is really influential on me. I've been more low-key about this on social media, but I am now the viola teacher at Renaissance Arts Academy, our crosstown neighbor, another art school. And I've only been teaching there 2 years, but I've been their primary viola instructor for the last year, and I stand on the shoulders of giants such as Mr. Freedman.
Does Mr. Freedman know he's muted still?
Oh, Jerry, you know you're muted?
No, I'm sorry. Alec, a question. A parent, that Lincoln Portrait where I narrated it in Downey with the Lux Orchestra, a parent gave me a DVD of that, which was fabulous, and I lost it.
Oh.
Do you know anyone who has, or any connection from anyone in the orchestra then who would know that parent or have it?
Unfortunately, not.
What if it's on YouTube?
Yeah, I mean it would be amazing if that was on YouTube or online somewhere.
Because it was a perfect example of using the arts in academics.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was just a beautiful thing. So I was super excited by the first. So that was like the end of the year, my freshman year. I was very excited to join your class.
You don't know anyone who has that. It's too bad. All right.
Yeah, I'll keep an ear out.
I
Maybe
would appreciate that.
Alan Outner. So
thank you. And thanks for your kind words.
I think Felicia's next.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. It's Felicia, class of '89, way back when. Hi, Mr. Freeman. I hope you remember. I swear, I'm trying not to cry. Woo!
We're here for you. We're crying too.
Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, Felicia.
Don't get me crying over here, man.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Ah.
Can they hear you? So I was there in 7th grade, and Mr. Freeman would always write, like he always, like, how do you have all of everything on the board before we walk in? I'll never know, and all we had to do was take it down and go home and study, then come back. No, that wasn't me. No, I sat in the back and did all my chit-chatting, and, you know, history just wasn't for me, and I was cool with it anyways. So one morning I came to school, and it was a bad, rough morning at home. And I told Mr. Freeman what had happened. And I don't remember like all of his words and everything, but like these are the tears from like a 16-year-old who comes into your class and your teacher's like, what's wrong? And stuff like that. You're oh, like nothing. And I mean, he got it out of me and then he helped me through it. He talked me through it. I won't tell you what it was, but he talked me through it. And that like always has stuck with me all this time. Like all these years. I don't know if you remember, but if you do, that's great. If not, I just want to let you know, thank you. That saved a long day of madness inside of my head. It always comes back to me, and what I think, especially now that I have my daughter, my children, to never do that to my child. My mom, she didn't beat me or anything. She just said some crazy stuff, body image and all this other kind of stuff. So it's not like she hung me out or nothing. But it was enough that it's like early in the morning, like, let it go kind of thing. And then, you know, I came in and I told him, and he knew it was wrong, like, so attentive. But like, so I really appreciate it. I have held that in for a very long time. And I'm so thankful that I get a chance to say to you while you're here and breathing. And his hair was not gray. His hair was like brown. He was really tall. He's got these glasses. And it's like, where does this guy come from? So it was really nice. I don't know if I ever told you that I appreciated that, but that has stayed with me. When I think of you, that's what I think of. So
can I just say one thing about that? Thank you. Let me just say one thing about that. I had a difficult childhood as well. And in retrospect, like I was saying earlier, you don't realize the effect of things on you in your life, but it sensitized me so much that when I had a teacher, as I mentioned, I think a little earlier, when I had a teacher who made me feel okay, the first adult who made me feel acceptable, that I wasn't, you know, that I was worthy as a human being, it sensitized me to students when I became a teacher.
Right.
And when I think of so many of the years when I was observed and the standards that the administration had, various whatever, that was never on the list. You know, it was all this nonsense stuff. You know, did you have this on? Someone told me, one of the administrators a few years ago, complained that I didn't have the date on the board. Never mind that I could have this conversation with you, but if I had the date on the board, I'd be a better teacher. You know,
right.
You know. So I had my times, and I guess it sensitized me to you and your times, and make you, sensitive to other people as well in your own family, or whatever. Anyway, thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Our studio is like that. We take in like the kids that aren't in the big studios, that they think don't have potential, and we're here for them. I just had a girl who just did that on stage. She didn't think she could do a solo. She did her solo at competition and got first place. So she was, really a shut-in girl. So you pass it on, right?
Pass it on. That's right.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was a dance major. I don't know. My box is still on. Do I unmute myself? Okay. Sorry. Bye.
Bye.
It's Sonia next.
Hey, Mr. Friedman.
Hey,
Happy
who's
birthday.
That? Thank you. Happy birthday. Oh, to
yes,
me.
From class of 2010 Visual Arts.
All right.
And yeah, I echo what was said. I just love that you were there for all of us, whether we had an awesome day, a horrible day, you always knew just what to say to really turn things around. Yeah. But not just that. I mean, like, just all the memories coming back from your class, and the sense of like this fearless eclecticism, I want to call it, that you brought to not just history, but like all the shows you went to, all the ways you supported us. I have a great memory when you made a cameo at the end of 2010's The Magic Flute. Do you remember that?
When I had the end on the back of my jacket?
No,
back in the box.
Not quite.
Back in the box.
I was in the box, that's true. But then that's how the show ended. There was twinkling
Right,
lights.
that's how the show ended, and everybody just came on stage dancing around, and that was like the greatest thing. I don't know, that was just like the icing on the cake. It was perfect. It was a perfect way to end that show. Yeah.
Well, I knew enough not to have me sing. So yes, it was perfect.
Right. But not just that, also when I remember seeing you a couple of times at the gallery shows that us visuals would put on, and that really did mean a lot to me, because I mean, you know, just for me coming from the visual arts department, it sometimes felt like we didn't always have high visibility because we weren't always performance oriented. We were more about like, here, let me create something in the physical sense and let me show you. So the fact that you came and you showed up to support us just meant the entire world to me, especially.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so thank you.
Nicely said.
That was my wife. Said nicely said.
Nicely said. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So again, happy birthday. You're
Thank
awesome. You always will be.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I think I'm next. Hello, Jerry. Happy birthday from across the pond.
Across the pond, yes.
It's so nice to see you.
And you.
I think these stories are amazing, really, and I think we can all kind of chime with every one of them. It's wonderful actually, because I pride myself in having a rather terrible memory, so it's great to hear all these stories and remind myself of all the wonderful facets of your teaching. I think I was thinking about how many of us are probably here are teachers in one form or another. I'm an active musician, but like many musicians, I kind of make my bread and butter through quite a bit of teaching to kind of back everything up. Having you in my life as a kind of example of how to teach, you know, is well, it's kind of an insurmountable example, unfortunately, but but nevertheless, it is. You know, it's my memories of your classes are a constant lesson to me still. You know, even just the way you used to have. I had you in. So I was class of 2000. I had you for I think AP US History, and then History of Music the next year, because otherwise I wouldn't have had you as a teacher the next year, and that was unbearable. So. And the way you had the table set out in a kind of U shape, so that you'd come right into the middle of the class and get us kind of debating back and forth about history, so that it was a kind of a live subject, not a dead subject. And that was brilliant, because you know I think every class I'd had in my entire life up to that point was always the same structure. You know, teacher at the front, students in rows, sat kind of staring forwards, sometimes falling asleep. And you were right there in the middle of us, and kind of, you know, almost kind of conducting the class, you know, in a kind of musical way, and that was wonderful. And you know, you got the sense that you wanted to hear from us, which you know, that kind of dynamism in teaching, which is so rare, was really wonderful. Just a little story, and I think I remember telling you this at some point, that. Although I did listen intently, obviously, in your lessons, I did find myself at one point dictating the rhythm of your speech. I was a music student, and because I used to kind of keep the beat with my foot to you talking, and it was a great lesson for me, because I realized there's really genuinely music in everything, and actually a great speaker like yourself has a really wonderfully natural kind of cadence and phrasing and pulse and meter to your speech, and you know, like I said, sometimes I wasn't always listening properly, but I remember kind of following the beat and thinking, this is fantastic. it's such a natural flow to the way you talk, and you know, that, I mean, I wish I like I said, I always aspire to be anywhere near like that in my own teaching. And thank you for everything, Jerry, and for being such a good friend over all these years. Last time I was in LA was 2000. It was a bit earlier this year, unfortunately, for friends passing. But otherwise it was 2012, and I always make sure, you know, to come back and visit with you, and I think many of us do that, and that's really awesome.
And your beautiful family. I have such wonderful memories of your wife and children.
Well, we were meant to be back this summer. Obviously, that didn't happen. And obviously, you know, you'd be first on the list after my immediate family, of course.
Yes.
But otherwise,
let me know when, so I won't go to New York until I see you.
It might be next summer, but who knows? We'll see you
Okay.
soon, though, Jerry. I guarantee it.
Why
All
not?
right. Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you, Darren.
Hi, Jerry.
Jerry, I have to go, but I just wanted to say love you. Happiest birthday. God bless. Stay
you so much.
healthy and
I'm
take
trying.
care.
Thank you. Love you too. Be good. Wear a mask. Remember.
Yes.
Hi, Jerry.
We also have to go.
Yeah, we have to go, but we just wanted to say what happy birthday and what an amazing and remarkable impact you have had on all these people. It is
Unbelievable.
glorious.
Me too.
So
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Happy
Bye-bye.
birthday.
Be
Thank
well.
you. You too. Oh my God.
I think I'm up, right, Lily?
It's Danny,
Donnie.
right? Donnie.
Donnie.
So sorry, Donnie.
No worries. It's
Well, can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we
Cool.
can hear you.
Yes. I'll send the list again, but it's Donnie now. Yeah.
Do you know how those World War II planes had little notches in the side of all the planes they blew out of the air? I was like that kid with teachers. And up until Jerry, I had about 12, 15 teachers that I had just worked my way through. I was an angry, angry kid. And I was the problem kid in the school. And when I went into Jerry's class, I was like, okay, well, this guy's going to be easy. And I don't know how you did it, but you just took all that anger and you like taekwondo'd it. And you engaged. And for the first time ever, I had a person who was listening to me. And you changed me, man. Like you made me believe in history and storytelling. I became a professional storyteller of sorts as a result of that class. So yeah, holy.
I have a signed book of yours too.
You do. And I don't remember what I wrote, but it was probably something like, thank you for helping me become a storyteller.
Something like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Good book. Wow. Thank you, Donnie. Wow.
By the way, class of 1982, New Jewish High School. I don't know if I'm the only one here, but
Yes, I think you are.
yeah.
Hello, my name's Anathea, class of 94, music instrumental. It's just so good to see you. So two things really, I mean, my brain is full of Loxa memories, and I won't take time to like just purge all those wonderful memories in my head because it's always fun to talk about Loxa. But the two things that stick in my head that come to the forefront of my mind were Mr. Morotek with his feet kicked up on the desk reading his paper. And if you remember Mr. Morotek, you'll know how crazy neurotic and what a like polar opposite end that Mr. Freedman was. And Mr. Freedman, I remember coming because I was a musician. I got dropped off at Lot F, made my way up the stairs and wandered myself through the music building. Oh, geez, I can't remember. I'm thinking about this 20 years later. And your room was at the very end of the hallway in that music building on the far left, right? Wow, that, boys and girls, that's 25 years. I haven't had those thoughts. I'm not even playing. But your door was always open. There would be music coming from your room, I believe, and there was and you were always there in the morning. Even if I didn't have you in the morning, I'd pop my head and go, "Hi, Mr. Freeman, how you doing?" like a kid would, and then wander over to King Hall. Oh wow, these are words I haven't said in 25 years, which is amazing considering I'm only 30. So lots of postgraduate, right? So I mean, those are the things that really stick out in my head. And I know you always came to every performance, like you and like our parents were the only people that showed up, God love you, to every single performance that Loxa we put on. So we appreciated it and I appreciated it. So thank you. Much love to you. I can't wait to party with you after COVID to 80 more. Happy birthday. We love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you. Wow, it's great. What a birthday present this has been.
Hi, Mr. Friedman. It's Babette.
Hey.
Class of 91. Hello.
Hello.
Two things. One is, first of all, I realized in this Zoom that I was not the special one for you. You were special. Everyone was special to you. And I'm like, I'm listening to these great stories. And
Well, I have to interrupt you to say that everyone was special as if they were the only one when I'm with that person. It's not like, oh, this is one of X number. No. Right now, There's Babette.
Right now, well, I appreciate that. I think I echo every story here that I've heard so far. It echoes everything that I felt. So I don't want to repeat the stories about being in the class. But when I was, you mean so much to me over the years. And every time I see a post that you're seeing another student, it brings back all the feelings I had towards you, like throughout the whole time. For all these years, I'm 47 now. And that love has not diminished in the least bit. So much so that when we started putting art together, 5 years ago, we put together our wedding invitation list. Like, you were one of the first people that was at the top of the list that was coming. And I do have a cat that's starting to cry because she wants to be fed. But I just want to say that it was such a pleasure. The idea that I could have a high school teacher that I would want at my wedding years later to see me on that next part of my journey. It really, you completely, you were one of the only teachers who I felt like really saw me and really listened to me and really made me feel important enough for me to want to be better. And I want to say happy birthday, obviously, but before Matt, I don't even know if Matt's still on because I see his little picture here, but Matt Snyder is the reason I came to LACSA.
I'm here.
Thank you, Matt. We met at a party. He mentioned he was going to this crazy school. I was super shy. Like a week later, I sent in our application to go and got in somehow. And without Matt, I would not have met you. And I just wanted to say to both of you.
Thank you, Matt. You gave me a lot.
Absolutely.
Glad to have been of service.
Oh, so happy birthday. It was such a wonderful opportunity to be in your class.
Thank you.
And it made me feel so important. So I really appreciate I appreciate the opportunity to be here to celebrate you.
I appreciate it a tremendous amount. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jerry, I think I'm next.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Amy. How are you?
I'm good. So I was in the Flushing High School class of 1978. And I had Jerry when I was in 10th grade. And we used to sit, and it was the last period of the day. You guys I don't know if you ever had double session, but we were there like at 4:30, 4:45 in the afternoon. And I would just, pretty much sit at Jerry's desk and we would shoot the breeze because nobody really wanted to really learn much back then. And I think, and I remember when you met your wife and you went to California, and I think it was amazing that you would answer letters from a girl from, that was in your, who was 16, 17 when you're in California. And we would write back and forth. And I remember coming out to California the first time, and I was I was at the Hollywood Y, and you came and you picked me up in your car and you took me for lunch. And maybe that was the beginning of you having lunch with your former student, and so all those years ago. But I think, really going to LA was like the thing that probably transformed your career after being in New York and your teaching. And it's amazing to hear, all of your students and,
And you became a teacher.
Yes, I just retired actually after 38 years of teaching. I was a special education teacher and a school librarian. And, I can't believe that you're still teaching. I thought I would make it past you, but,
I can't imagine not teaching.
I know it just, unfortunately, it got to be where it was untenable what I was doing and what was happening in.
Right. But not in LACSA. LACSA is different. It's a different universe.
Right. I can tell by the students who've come on today how,
talent, my God,
how great it is. So happy birthday. And I don't think you're going to be no one has asked you this. You haven't said, but are you going back in the building in a month?
Probably not. They haven't told
happening?
us. They haven't told us, but the governor indicated that we shouldn't be going back. Most likely we'll start on Zoom, and then we'll work our way either half a week in and half not, or something like that. until it's safe enough. But I think we're going to be Zooming for a while. The only thing I don't like about that, or one of the, is that this year, the Zooming kids, I had these kids for 7 months before we Zoomed. But I'll be meeting new students.
Right.
Only on Zoom. It's not going to be the same relationship.
No, it won't be, I think. But
again, everything is relative. I'm still there.
Right.
We might end up going back in there. I'm reasonably healthy, so let's be grateful.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Take care. Hope to see you in New York again.
Yes, well, keep on Facebook and you'll hear me.
All
You'll
right.
find out what I'm doing.
Jerry, it's my turn, and I'm so glad to see you. You look the same as you did 30 years ago.
Thank you.
My memory of you, or my comments to you, really are not related to the classroom, and this is why I think you are the teacher and the person that you are. As a teacher myself, this is about to begin my 22nd year teaching for LAUSD. And the thing that I've learned over the years, of course, is that as a teacher, more important than the actual lessons and instruction that you give are the relationships that you foster and the connections that you make. And this is the thing that you have excelled at for, I didn't realize that you were a teacher in Flushing long before you ever came to Loxa.
I know.
But there you are, having from 1978 as your students. The memory that I have, and I'm sure you remember this because this is the kind of memory that you have, is that one summer you asked me and Carly to look after your cat and look
Yes.
after your house.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but you asked us to help you. I don't know if you were getting like house renovations or something, but we had to like help you move stuff.
Really? Yeah, I remember.
Your like bedroom into another room or something like that, and you would invite us over and we would play basketball in your backyard, the three of us, and it was, these are the kind of things like, that I don't think I've ever had with any other teachers.
Right.
There are plenty of teachers that I remember lessons that they gave, and there are plenty of other teachers that have made an impression on me, but nobody has endeared themselves and allowed other people to become part of their lives in the way that you have. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we saw you, I don't know, maybe in the last 6-7 Hollywood Bowl. Exactly. I know you remember that. And I think you're the only teacher I've ever had that has actually met my children. And I think that's very special. And there aren't very many teachers, if any, that when I was sent, hey, Mr. Freedman is having a Zoom party for his 80th birthday, that I would drop literally the Dodgers opening season is about to start, which is the most important thing in the world to me, and I'm here talking to you, and that's more important. And I want you to know that you will always have a place in my memory and my heart, and you are a role model and someone to admire as far as a teacher and a person. And the thing, what is this? Oh, there you go. You're watching it right now.
No. This is me at Dodger Stadium on the.
Oh my God, that is.
This is me in a Dodger uniform at home plate.
How did you get that?
I was teacher of the year for the county, and the Dodgers recognized me as a Dodger educational
That is
hero.
incredible.
At the ball game.
Amazing.
I can't believe it. They had made a speech about me, and they put me up on the big zoo over the outfield. Only because of Loxa. That would never happen anywhere else.
That's incredible. I would also like to point out to everybody, and I don't think anybody else probably knows this other than maybe the people around the class of 90-91, that Mr. Freeman is the only person that I've ever met that actually purchased a ticket to Woodstock. And he told us about this. It was like $25.
Not only that, but it was an unripped ticket because so many people came. They just knocked over the fences and walked in here. And I had my $4 ticket, and I could have sold that for thousands of dollars.
You didn't hold on to it?
No, it was a ticket. Who knew at the time you were going in there that it was going to be Woodstock?
Yeah.
It was
Right.
Woodstock, not Woodstock.
Anyway,
I took two students with me. I took 2 Flushing High School students with me.
I want to thank you for your compassion and your huge heart and your friendship for the last 30 years. It really means the world to me and my sister who spoke first today, and I'm sure to everybody else, obviously, that's here and that's been here today. So happy birthday to you. I can't
Thank you,
believe
Matt.
you're 80, but
I
you
know.
look like you're 25.
At
And,
least, maybe 30.
I'm gonna check out now because I'm gonna go watch this
Back to the
Dodger
ball
game,
game.
which I've been waiting for months to watch. But
Sorry.
thank you so much for all of you've done and said and been meant to all of us, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Matt. Take care.
You're welcome.
Oh my God.
I'll see you hopefully soon.
I hope so. Ooh, this is overwhelming.
This is my turn.
Top both of us.
So it's my turn, right?
Go, Troy.
I'm sitting here and like my heart is my heart. I'm like Felicia. My name is Troy. I'm from class of '88. I'm proud to say that I'm one of the OGs. Mr. Freeman.
We love you,
Trying to
Troy.
hold it.
You got
I was
this.
trying to hold it. I was trying to hold it together.
It's impossible.
I damn near cried every single time you guys spoke. I swear to God. It's just, Mr. Freeman, I love you so much, man. I think you know what you mean to me. During the school, a lot of people didn't know that I was homeless. And I hated being away from school because school meant everything to me because it was a place that I can go, that I can just be myself and just get away from all the problems. And one of the most important things was you. And just like Matt, I never had you as a, you were never my teacher. And just to show you how important and how powerful the man that you are, that you touched me in that way. And I never took your class once. I'm sorry, guys, but this man means so much to me, and he knows this. And I'm just so appreciative, and I'm honored to be on this call, to listen to how he affected all of you. And this man has affected me so much. I'm such a better man because I know him, and because I experienced his love and his I love you, Mr. Freeman, and happy birthday to you. Everything that I do, you're like my father, man. And everything that I do is to show you that I want you to be proud of me. And,
I'm so
and I
proud of you,
appreciate you.
Troy. I'm so proud of you. You can't believe it. I couldn't even use the words to describe it. Your accomplishments are so unbelievable. You think of where you started and where you have come, and how important your talent is, but even more important, your character.
Thank you, man. And God bless you all. And I feel connected to all of you, even though a lot of you have not met, but I appreciate you guys, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too, man.
Always have.
Well said, Troy. I wanted to follow Troy because we both were in the same class together, and it's good to see you, buddy, on screen. Mr. Freeman, it's amazing, like, yeah, as everybody's saying, is how you've impacted so many people. Like somebody said, I thought I was your special student. It's so cute. Because everybody for so many decades. And you're an inspiration. It's amazing as a teacher. And I'm Linda, by the way, everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't change my name. It sounds so pretentious, but that's because I'm Zooming every day with my summer class. And Mr. Freedman, you can do it in the fall. I taught my first full online class this summer because we switched in the spring, and I was worried how would it be. They were one of my best classes ever, with one of my highest retention rates ever. So it's totally possible as long as everything's clear and you have everything's online, and it's different because it's high school, but I was worried like you, and it was amazing. So I'm sure as long as your personality like you have comes through, you'll be fine. No worries. But I think, I go so far back because I'm like Troy, I'm the second graduating class, and I had you for history, and I think you were the first person to maybe start me liking history. I think I didn't really like history until I went to Europe because I'm a classical piano major was what I was, and a composer. But I do remember at the time, sadly, my dad was a Republican, and I think I was like a Republican or something. And I mean, it's shocking. And no offense to anybody that may be, but I remember Mr. Freeman was a strong liberal, and I remember we would get in these discussions. I don't know if you remember that, but my dad, at that time fed my head, and obviously I've seen the light, and I've gone more Mr. Friedman's way. I would say I'm a full-on liberal now, but I do remember that, and I do remember somebody else, I think it was Darren, saying how you had the open classroom and we'd walk in and we didn't sit in the traditional rows, and that was very refreshing. And it's funny now, 30 years later, and I realized I didn't even really think about it until everybody was talking, but I think your teaching has definitely influenced my teaching without knowing it. And because you were always very accessible and very young with the students, and it wasn't that, teacher versus students, it was like together. And I think that's so important. And then the only other, high school's so long ago for me, and it's so many great memories, but my more recent memories is just you starting to love more opera through the years. And I remember in the early years, you were like nothing past classical. And so
I got tickets for 4 or 5 operas this season if they'll ever have them.
Yeah, well, we're not having them, but sadly. But it's always great because you always support everybody, and you always text me when you're coming to the opera, and I always come backstage and I always see you, and you're so supportive about visiting all of us with all our concerts, like somebody else said before. So
Linda
thank you
puts all the
for
words up on the opera. When you watch opera and you see all the words so you know what it's about, Linda's doing all that.
She's the super title lady.
Hi, Lita. Yeah, and I just finished The Ring today. Like literally, we just finished The Ring. It's going up on Saturday, and it was like 15 hours. But anyway, thank you for always supporting us. And like I said, you're always that common link with anytime I see another student, I just say, Mr. Friedman, and everybody's like, I love Mr. Friedman. So you're the best. Say hi to Linda, and happy birthday. I'm glad I saw those posts yesterday so I could join this beautiful event. So
Means a lot to me, Linda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Friedman.
Hi, Mr. Friedman.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, here we go.
So wonderful to see
2
you.
students and 1 teacher.
Yes. I'm Alexa, theater class of 2013.
I'm Ben, theater class of 2012.
And we freaking love you. And
Oh, I love you, Mr. Friedman. You're a wonderful storyteller. I steal so many of my teaching techniques from you. You taught me so much, and I loved your class, just being able to sit and listen to someone who really knows what they're talking about and tell us a story in a way that captivates even a 16, 17-year-old kid that doesn't want to go to school sometimes. It was wonderful being in your class every single day. And I think it may be the one class that I never ditched from.
Me neither.
I'll be honest. But I love you, and I miss you, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you.
Hope to see you too.
So I know I talk about this with you every time I see you / earlier today, but of course I loved your academic class, and because of that, I obviously I was even in your class, I looked up to you, and I just thought of you and still think of you. Oh no, whew, here it comes. Think of you so highly. And so when we were doing Hairspray and they told me Mr. Friedman's gonna be in it, I got starstruck. I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna I wasn't even nervous before, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And getting to be in a show with you, and you just being backstage and just
I love the backstage part was the best. Being with
oh my gosh, and you brought me out of a can of Hairspray. I was like, there is no one in the world I would like to get me to escape a can of Hairspray than Mr. Friedman. So
thank you so much.
Thank
what a great memory. What a
thank
great
you,
memory.
thank you for
Thank you, Alexa.
Not only impacting me, but obviously so many human beings, including everyone on this call. Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Oh.
Hi, Mr. Friedman.
Now tell them you were one of my students, right?
No, but no, I'm now a teacher, but I never thought I would be because I was Alexa parent.
That's right.
Because well, Alexa's kind of my granddaughter since Daniel played her mother in Hairspray. Yay! So when I heard that one, hi man. So I heard all about you guys. Are so too bad Daniel and Michael, they're having issues right now. They're mad at me. Anyway, when I found out they were about you at Loxley, I was like, oh, I hope my sons get Mr. Friedman. And I think you had both of them. You had Daniel O'Brien and Michael. Hi!
No, pussycat.
Hey, the whole family's here. Yeah, so so when I saw that they had you for a teacher, I was so excited. But also, being in the opera, hi Linda, we were doing, I believe, Satyagraha, which is about Gandhi. Yes. And I had some extra tickets because I signed up for tickets for lots of people to go. I think you were the first one to sign up for the tickets. So I remember seeing you come to our show.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's such an honor that you were part of our opera family as well. So I'm not going to ramble on too much, but I'm so grateful that I get to be on the faculty with you. So I get to see you on a more regular basis. You are an awesome teacher, and I'm so glad my sons had you. Thank you.
So much.
And I love seeing you in Hairspray. What was your line? Get that Tommy kid off the show.
As I think it's me. Hey, Mr. Friedman. This is Nick Law from the class of 06, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't talked to you in a while. I've seen you on and off of Facebook, and I try to avoid it. But my most vivid memory of you and your class. I was a theater major, but I like to dabble with the piano, and you happen to have a piano in your room. And so I'm gonna be honest. I was never a big fan of history. I was hoping that you would actually teach like math or some other because I love math and I love you as a teacher. But like, can you just teach math so I could be passionate with math with you? Because I didn't have that history passion. Although I can't say that I disliked your class, even though it wasn't a subject that I cared for. You were able to keep me interested and engaged. But anyway, you had a piano, and you would always allow me to play one note. So I could pick any note on the keyboard or piano, just press that one note for as long as I want, or short. Sometimes it was short, sometimes it was long. And you always, even though you probably didn't enjoy it, you would be like, oh, that was the note. That was, you would always entertain me with that, which I never forgot. And everything that everyone said about you is so spot on. And it, as I was listening to all these conversations, I didn't even realize how my brain, as a lot of people said, how you are like the ideal model of a teacher in my head. And I've had lots of great teachers, but you literally, you can keep me engaged in something I don't care too much about without belittling me, without making me feel inferior um, or I'd have stupid questions. All the unintentional things that sometimes we can do as teachers or people to belittle or make people feel not safe. You somehow could nullify all of that, and it was impossible not to feel safe around your presence in your classroom, which is very, very, very rare, surprisingly and sadly. But you embodied that, and so I just want to thank you for that, and thank you for staying positive and never really allowing any of anything that was going on in your day that wasn't great. Like I never saw you like on a really bad day. Like I don't know how you were able to hide it all.
Never
but like
in front of lots of students.
Well, you say that and that is true to a degree, but somehow and it's all about perspective. You're able to just see through any obstacle and not see it as an obstacle or a block that you can't get through. And I unknowingly learned through your example, which I can't thank you enough for. So
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Freedman. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Sorry for being out of touch, but even though we don't say much,
We're back in
you're
touch.
still in here with us, and up here and up here. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
just want to say one thing, that making you feel safe, my students feel safe, has always been more important to me than learning a specific fact of history. Because the feeling safe is going to pay dividends for the rest of your life. The fact of history will not mean anything past the time of a test or something like that.
That is very true, and I felt that because, like I said, I didn't care too much for history because it was always kind of changing, and like I'm terrible at remembering dates, but that's not, even if I don't remember exactly what date everything happened, you were able to get the essence of what's important.
Right.
Why are we learning this? Why are these things important? Why do we even need to care about our history? Like clearly, we're at a time where remembering your history now is very well. It's always been important, but you don't see the importance in a book, and you were able to break that book and make it tangible. So thank you.
Thank you for that. That's important to me. Thank you.
I think we have Roderick next.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully you guys can see me.
Yes.
Yes, we see you.
I'm a little sweaty face. I was literally running to get to home, trying to get here so I could talk to Mr. Freedman. Mr. Freedman, I love you so much. I thank you so much for your life and for your legacy and for your just input. This is a testament to your life, right? This right here is a testament to what your life on earth is. And we're so grateful to you. We're so grateful to your wife for lending you to us day in and day out, because I'm sure it's taxing on her to always have, us have a piece
not
of
your
you.
students again. Oh.
All right. So we're grateful to her for allowing us to have some of you. And I just want to, bless you and hope that you have 80 more years. Right. And to me, when I think of you, I wasn't too much into history when I was in high school, but now, as you know, I'm a little outspoken when it comes to politics. But it's so much of a time now that I value what you do. And I think that history, if there was ever a time in history for history to be so important, it's right now. And for people to learn history correctly, and the correct history, and the actual and facts of history that exists, and not the farce that we're sold in textbooks. So I appreciate you, and I thank you for having some truth also to your teaching. It's so important to be a history teacher and to have truth and justice in your message. And so to me, you're like the Dr. King of Loxa, everybody rallies around you, everybody loves you. And so because I think of you as the Dr. King of Loxa, I just want to sing a little bit of Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday. Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Stevie Wonder wrote this, y'all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Freedman.
Thank you, Roderick, so much. Whoa.
That was awesome.
Ooh.
Hey, I think it's my turn now. God, Roderick, you still got that voice, boy. I think Roderick was in 10th grade when I was a senior at Loxa. This is Amari from class of '96. Hey, Mr. Freedman.
Hey,
How are you, sir?
Good to see you.
Lovely to see you as always. I've actually, it's funny because just over the years, me being part of the Loxa alumni page and Facebook and everything, I see you constantly. I see you as a constant, as you always were at school, as if nothing's ever changed, and you just look the same. And I just one of my memories one of the things I always will remember of Loxa is you, just being a constant presence in the school, always holding court, having stories. I don't really. There's always it's either me like joining the group that's listening to your stories, or just hearing you pass in the hall, or seeing you at all the events, whether it be visual arts. I was part of the visual art department, but just seeing you engage with every department at our school, and graduating school, and then just kind of like dropping off for a little bit, not really knowing what was going on with Loxa. But then when I reconnected with Loxa, seeing that you were still a presence, and I was not surprised in the slightest. I don't know. I don't think I had you for history, but I wanted you for history. And I just basically I just remember you as the mayor of Loxa. And so it's just, when we're going all through this stuff right now, especially with COVID, I'm in Santa Monica right now. My kids are in school, and just even now, I realize the importance of what a teacher does to a child's life, and the importance of just contact and having that escape that a teacher can bring. A good teacher, right? I mean, there's teachers that are out there that you can teach, but you have to have the passion, you have to have the fire. I've had many teachers, and the teachers I remember, the ones that have brought that special je ne sais quoi, je ne sais pas to my life, who stuck out to me, who had the inspiration and the fire to like instill lessons upon me, right? So, those are the teachers I remember, and those are the teachers that are valuable. And right now, with everyone doing Zoom calls and everything like that, it's just really, it's discouraging because, we have to protect our teachers, right? But we also have to make sure that the youth's minds can grow and learn and have an escape. As so many kids come from different situations, have so many different problems that they face, right? That they require a teacher's love, a teacher who cares and passion that can make that change. So, teachers like you are what makes the world go around. Teachers like you is what makes successful people. And so I just want to let you know that I value you. I wasn't able to make it to the Loxa Gala that honored you there, and I was able to make a little video, but I wasn't able to attend because all the tickets sold out, unsurprisingly, because it's Loxa and that's how we represent. But I just want you to know that I have a little baby girl. She's 8 years old, and my aim is to have her be at Loxa because she loves to dance, and she makes her own dance, and she has these modern techniques that she doesn't even know about. But like, my dream is for her to go. Of course, I won't say it because if you ask your kids to do it, they won't do it. So I just kind of stay quiet. I'm like, okay, baby, maybe you'll be at Loxa, maybe you'll be at Loxa. But my dream is that you'll be there when she's there. So I just want to let you know that we appreciate you and we value you so much. And I want to wish you the happiest birthday. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. So.
Damari, this is the happiest birthday by far. There's nothing comparison to today, right now.
I'm so glad. It's funny because I do voiceovers now. So I was doing, like, it's been kind of busy for the past few days, and I laid on the couch and I was like, okay, you're going to have your Zoom call. And then I knocked out on the couch, and then my wife called, and I looked at the phone, I fumbled, and I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, oh, yay. And I was like, yes, I woke my cat up too. See, she's just chilling there too. Anyway, I've talked enough. I love you, man. And I wish you all the best. You look the same. You look phenomenal. You are forever young, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. I got a cat sleeping on the chair next to me right
here. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Ooh.
Mr. Freedman, oh my gosh, I'm so moved that everyone's here. This is actually the one good thing of COVID, right? Like, this is a really cool thing that we all get to say hi to you at the same time and say happy birthday at the same time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coming into the office I said, oh, there's a birthday thing for my history teacher from high school. And my son said, oh, is that the guy who I drew a picture of myself and you said it looks like my history teacher from high school? He did when he was like 8 or something, like 4 years ago, because he has curly hair and glasses. So I was like, yeah, that's him. That's I've been reading so much since this whole lockdown thing, and about every other book is like a history book. And so my son's constantly like, oh, are you reading another depressing book about, our country? And I'm like, yeah, it's really fun. But I have you to thank for that, I think. And I'm reading The People's History of the United States, finally. And, he keeps saying throughout, like, well, schools will teach you this, and this is what you learned in school. I'm like, that's not what I learned in school. I learned the proper take on everything from you. So I just wanted to say thank you and happy birthday. And
Thank
this
you
is
so
just
much.
like a lovely gathering.
This is unbelievable. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I have a little thing to share. I guess one thing that really stands out is I remember when we were learning in AP US history about the founding fathers and the Declaration of Independence and this and that, and the first administration, and Mr. Freedman told us about this guy who's just like never talked about, and we never think about him as being really significant in our country's history. And he was like, this guy did this and he did that, and he's so responsible, and he just died really early, so we don't really remember him. And you really were onto something, because that was Hamilton, and now we talk about him just constantly. And I remember when that show came out, I was like, this is sort of the uncovering of history that for all of us who had you, that already started for us. So I'm just saying you're super hip, and you were like already like way ahead. But also I remember when you called my house over the summer to congratulate me on my AP US history score. And I was just like really floored by that. And I don't know, just the thought of you thinking about your students over the summer and being how that was a part of your life. Our success was your success.
Oh, yeah.
That was very important to me.
Thank you. That's true.
Anyone else that wants to speak, go for it, or we could make it a night or whatever. Yeah.
Hi. I don't know. Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, Devin.
Okay, cool. Hi. I was just thinking, well, I'm Devin Reeves. I'm class of 2001, and I started off in the theater department, and then as Vicky Silva would call me, I became a traitor, and I switched over to the dance department. I took like a summer intensive course and was like, I like you guys. You guys are nice. So I switched over there. Anyways, I was talking to my mom before I came on here, and I was like, yeah, Mr. Freedman, like, and I feel like, you're my really good friend and you're such a great teacher. But then I realized you were never actually my teacher, because I'm not smart enough to be in your class. So, but I remember you so vividly, like, as part of my high school life. And then just like from there on, because you're just really great at keeping in touch with people, even though I don't like literally talk to you. I feel like I know you and understand what you're going through. Anyways, but I actually got to have a really unique experience with you, more as like, I guess, a friend and a co-thespian, because we were in Fiddler on the Roof together. And I remember goofing around with you backstage, and there's like Josh Groban, and who knew this goofy kid is gonna be like this famous dude, and like and just like it was so much fun, just goofing around and being in a theater production with others. You really become family very quickly. And you just fit in with the kids. You're like a big kid. Yep. And we loved you so much. Honestly, every teacher, even the ones like I loved, everybody had a little bit, oh, that guy did this and this lady did that, and that teacher, I don't appreciate them. And I never heard anybody trash talking on you. So that's because I feel like you were in the trenches with us. You were on the front lines with us, and you just made it feel like you're part of our family and our lives. So
And I
happy
also saw,
birthday.
thank you so much. I also saw something that most academic teachers don't see. When you're in a show, you see what the effort these kids put in. They stayed from school 10, 11 o'clock at night. They expected back in school the next morning with all their homework done. And Hell Week is like this every night. And so, you know, when kids, we had a test, so we put the test off till after the show is over. You know, God, these kids put out so much.
Yeah,
They're so
well, that's
dedicated.
probably why you connect with so many, because you have a rare gift of empathy that a lot of people just in general don't have. So that gives you an opportunity to be friends with a wide spectrum of people. So, and you're just so amazing. So I'm so glad to have you. But I was like, yeah, he's an amazing teacher. I'm like, but how do I even know that? Like, just guessing. But
Good guess, I hope. Thank you.
I'm just glad to be part of your life.
And I'm so happy too. It means a lot to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's me. Oh my gosh. Hi. Good afternoon. I'm sorry. No. Good evening, Mr. Freedman. Happy birthday. Oh my God.
Thank you.
And I'm Celine Fernandez. I am class of 2011. I graduated with voice, and I'm probably going to be a repeat of what everyone has said here. You, Mr. Freedman, you have been such an incredible influence for all of us, and you are so empathetic to all of us that you are always there for us. And even though for example, I was very weird. That's what to say. I love you so much. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I hope you have an incredible year. May God bless you, and may you have lots of happiness, lots of love, lots of happiness now and forevermore. And Ella pointed it out in the chat, but Franny Tall from class of 2010, she wanted to say happy birthday to you. She couldn't come
Okay,
to the chat
thank her.
today, but she wanted to say that, like, and she.
I appreciate that. Thank her. Thank you so much. Thank you for you.
Thank you.
Am I up? Yeah. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all here. I saw Mr. Freeman actually at Hamilton like last year. I saw him there, and I pointed out to my mom, like, wait, that guy back there. I think I know him. And yeah, that was really cool.
One of my students was in the show. That's why I was there.
Oh, really? Oh, who was in the show?
I'll think of his name in a minute. If someone else doesn't come up with it. He was in the show since the show started. He just left a little while ago.
Oh man, I wish I didn't know there were any locks. I should have guessed. I guess at the arts.
Yes, Andrew Chappelle. Andrew Chappelle.
Yeah, Andrew.
Who did he play?
He had played different roles.
Oh, okay.
He was like in the company, but then when one of the leads left, he would take over.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, he covered Jefferson and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Then he came back to school and talked to the students while he was still in the show. It was great.
Yeah, man, that exploded. I took a push as well, and obviously you helped me and inspire me to become a teacher myself. I taught U.S. history, AP U.S. history in high school. So I taught the same subject. Yeah, and helped me, inspired me to keep things relevant with students, always connected to the present. And I really like what you said, because I thought that was very important too, about making sure the students are healthy as people, and they're mentally good. That's more important than a lot of the stuff that I could teach about history. If they're mentally there, then that's very important, making sure they can grow. And you really exemplified that. I told in order to make it clear how recent the Civil War was, I used to always tell, you can correct me if I was wrong, how one of my teachers when he was a kid met a Civil War veteran. Was that correct? Or a Civil War drummer boy or something like that? Is that right?
I don't think so.
No?
And then they put some eggs. Happy birthday, Jerry.
Oh.
Tell me the rest of the story. Happy birthday. Thank you.
Oh, but it was just that how it was just back to back, how it was so close, and I remember that, and then I also remember how this is a really dumb thing, but I learned that I needed glasses in your class because I would always wonder how everyone could see the board, and I would walk up to the board every day and take notes like right next to the board, not realizing
horrible
that.
handwriting.
But yeah, anyway, just
The one
you
on the
inspire
right is
indirectly.
CIA, right?
Going on, someone's going.
Where are you? John, go ahead.
Oh, I just, it's kind of cool just thinking that, like, in a way, in an indirect way, you were like the teacher grandfather to my students in a way, which is, I think, is like a cool, like, generational thing. Just forwarding what you taught, and then through me, the history to my kids. It's like you, like this tree of students that starts with you. That was really cool.
Thank you so
Anyway,
much.
thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I think I see Helen Collins, who was a student of mine back in the early years, too. She just came on, I think. She's been the one trying to talk over everybody, I think. Anyway.
68, 69.
68, 69. It's like
Yep.
yesterday, right, Helen?
Right, Jerry.
Let me see your full face. You only I see you from the nose. There we go. How are you?
I'm fine. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I just had a little something removed from my chin, but other than that, I'm fine. I didn't get hit or anything. I'm good. I'm ready for another 20, 30 years of teaching.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate that.
I'm going to go. You have a good time.
Thank you. Thank you.
By the way, whoever did this, it's awesome. It's so cool that you did this.
Who's talking now?
Well, next is Ella, right?
Okay.
Yes, hi. I'm Ella from class of 2011,
Hey, Ella.
vocal music. I never actually had you as a teacher, Mr. Freeman.
That's okay. It
That's,
counts.
I guess technically once when you substituted for one of the classes I was in, and that's the strongest memory I have of you. There was a piano in the room, and you played for us
No.
the selection from the piece 4 minutes 33 seconds.
Oh, yes.
It just blew my mind.
I can play that whole piece. I hope the rest of you know that nothing happens for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. It's
You
all
just
about
sit
the
there with your
audience's
hands over the
reaction.
keyboard frozen.
Right. It's about the audience's reaction to the silence, waiting for something to happen. I could play. That's the only piece I know. Yes.
And it just blew my mind. And I was just, oh, this is amazing.
I thought for a second you were confusing me with somebody else because I have no musical talent. Except to
That's
appreciate it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And I mean, most of what I know, most of what I appreciate about you has been, I can't remember the word, like through other people, through, you know, all my friends just absolutely raving about how wonderful you are and how they love your class. And I mean, like I said, I never even had you as a teacher, but you know, my parents recognized your name and were like, "Oh, we have to say happy birthday to him too."
Thank you for coming, and thank you for coming on this TV screen too. Thank you.
These are my parents.
Happy birthday! Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you so much. Oh wow.
Yeah. Happy birthday. We love you.
Oh, I feel it. I feel it. And back to you, all of you. Wow.
Yep. Well, Jerry,
Yes.
80. What a year to turn 80.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I keep saying. Say, you could have said 65, and I said.
You're not a day over.
I got.
It's like fine wine.
I got.
It's like fine wine.
Fine wine. Okay, that's a better way. I remember I was on the subway. Two things funny. I was on the subway in New York, pull into a station, the door opens, and a LACSA alum comes in. That's one story. The other story is I'm on the subway in New York, and a man gets up to give me his seat, and I threw him back down, and I said, don't you dare do that. Oh, I felt so old. It was awful. I didn't take the seat, but anyway. It's great that you guys are going to keep me young, going on and on and on. That's what you're all about. You have so much energy and so much talent and acceptance and so much respect, and I can't get enough of it, and I'm blessed beyond belief. And I never take a day at LACSA for granted, not 1 minute, because I spent 8 years before LACSA. I walked away from a very fancy Oakwood school, and I just didn't feel I deserved. I ended up in public schools at LA Unified that were really tough. In some cases, there were gang warfare, gang stuff, and kids would be killed over the vacation or a weekend and come back. It was just tough as can be. And then to come to LACSA, and I see some of these LACSA teachers, it's their first job. And it's a nice job, and oh, now I'm in a good school. They don't have a clue to have the perspective of what it could be and what it is. And I bless it every second of it. I haven't taken a sick day. It's funny, they have the, everything's computerized now, and we have to put in our attendance. We take a day off, we have to go into the internet and do all kinds of stuff and pick a substitute teacher and put the dates so we're going. I never know what to do because I haven't taken a day off since the 1980s. I haven't taken a sick day off since the 1980s. Only there have been a couple of excused days where faculty had to go for something or other, I don't know, training or something, and I didn't have to fill it out. But I never want to be far away from lots of students. I go to every show I can. I've seen more shows than anyone has ever seen in every art area, and like mentioned, in the visual arts. You know, what I want to hear is Darren's performances of his own music. That would be nice. But it just doesn't stop. You guys are just unbelievable. And thank you for this. If someone else has a birthday and they give them all kinds of boxes with all kinds of nice things, none of that compares to this right now. And thank you, Lily. None of this is without you. Lily came to me.
Thank you, Lily.
Thank you, Lily.
It's amazing.
Thanks, Lily.
Lily.
Great job.
Lily and I were having dinner in Manhattan last year, and it was like my 79th birthday. She said, oh, for the 80th birthday, we should have a LACSA birthday in New York for the LACSA alums. And then we had this virus and everything. And she said, let's do a Zoom birthday. And oh my God, I'll never, Lily, is there any way, I haven't even paid attention to all the chat. There's no way of getting, will that be on the video when the video comes?
I'll send you the recording. Everyone, you're being recorded without your consent. I'm so sorry. Jerry wanted it.
Can this be put on the internet?
All right.
Oh, you got me crying. Damn.
It's so good.
Can this be put on the internet?
Troy, like we all were.
I know. Yeah.
Here. I get a transcript, Jerry, so I can send you the transcript. I can.
Okay. Can this be put on the internet for other people to see?
I can put it on the Facebook.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
Yes, happy birthday to me. Who said that?
Joseph.
Joe!
My boy, what's up, Joe?
Joe,
what's up, Big Joe?
You're only 2 hours late, like class.
No, I'm not. Look at the text I just
What up,
sent
Big Joe?
I just sent you.
An hour late.
I sent you a drive-by happy birthday. Look at the video I sent you in front of your house.
Oh, I will do that. Oh, thank you so much. Joe, you're amazing. Yes, please, Lily, put it on Facebook.
You
and
got
then
it.
Pictures from
so I can post it. Joe, what was that? Joe, where'd you go? Joe, where are you now?
Probably bad connection.
I know, where?
Well, I don't know if you can't see me, but I can see your beautiful face.
No, I can see you, but I'm saying driving. Where are you driving now?
I'm around the corner from your house. I just left. I stood out in front of your house, took my mask off, sang you happy birthday, and sent you the video.
Oh, thank you so much, Joe. Joe, we're going to have to have that meal out. Remember we talked about before?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. Miss you all. I'm driving. My daughter's got
Joe,
My
when did you
daughter's
graduate?
in the COVID.
Joe, what year did you graduate?
1990. The finest class Locks has ever seen.
You know, I have people come to me every couple of years and say, alumni, the kids today, they're not as talented as when we were there, are they? You know, every group says that about the group that comes after them. And I hate to say that, their talent has been at the highest level all the way through. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you all so much.
Oh, Heather Rubin, Jared, Heather Rubin sends you so much love.
Yes, Heather.
Good
Oh,
love.
Heather. Whoa, yes.
Heather.
Oh, Heather.
Heather.
And thank you all. Thank you so much. And sticking through, some of you have been through this from the beginning. I can't believe it.
Jerry, enjoy the rest of your birthday, and I'll
Thank you, Jill.
soon.
We love you, Jerry. Love you, Mr. Freeman.
Bye, Jared. It was good to see you.
You were fabulous on that interview.
Thank you so much, man.
Great. Take care, everybody. Love you all.
Bye, Jerry.
Love you.
Bye. Take care.
You guys
Happy
go.
birthday, Mr. Freeman.
Happy
birthday.
Oh,
Nice
yes.
I
love you. Happy
Yes, love
birthday,
you.
Mr. Freedman.
Thank you.
Bye,
Jerry.
Mr. Freeman.
Bye-bye.
Jerry, thank you for having so much time for us all
Are you
these years.
kidding?
It's you know, I want to say thank you for always only ever setting essay questions for your tests, because I was terrible at multiple choice.
Multiple choice is
got
so
too confused.
dull and boring, and it doesn't give a chance to explain and perspective
Exactly.
or anything. Yeah.
Well, that was it. I don't know how you had time to read all.
And I read, the worst thing is I read over the same question over and over. And the next class, the same subject. Andrew Jackson, he did this, and then the Trail of Tears, and then he was president of the United States, and then they tried to impeach. Next question, Andrew Jackson, the Trail of Tears, and they tried to impeach him. But because it's, each individual student is for them, the whole world is for you individually.
Well, it's clear. It's been clear today that you obviously have some sort of special hold on time and its progression. I don't know how you have the time for all of us. I mean, your poor wife has probably never seen you for lunch, because you must have lunch every day.
At least 35 years.
I keep saying, one of my students, your students, always about your students. Yep, always about my students. That's right.
The sun is coming up in London in about half an hour. So
okay, it's time to go to sleep.
Say good night.
Take care, Dad.
Bye,
Okay,
all.
everybody.
Take care.
Love
Thank you
you
very
all.
much, Lily. That was wonderful of you to organize this. Happy
Yes.
birthday, Jerry.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. You go first. You go first.
No, you have to go first.
No, I can't do it.
Happy birthday, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Celine. Bye, bye, bye.
See you in New York, Mr. Freeman.
Yes, in New York. Keep in touch with Facebook. Bye-bye. Go off. Go off. Go.
It's already had to go.
I can't do it. Look, I got you in my house here. I can't do that.
Won't
Oh,
end
good.
it.
Down to the last few.
You'll wait the whole time.
Happy birthday.
No.
Bye. Thank you for organizing.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet
Thank you.
Thank you, Lily.
Lily, we'll talk later, Lily, about that. Thank you all. Love you. Oh, we're getting there.
We are.
Good. A few more. Rosalind, bye-bye.
I'm trying. Bye.
With Rosalind here. I can't leave with Rosalind here.
I know. I know.
All right, Lily.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank
You're
you.
going to save chat. So hopefully it works. I'm sure it
This
will.
is a 2-hour Zoom.
2-hour Zoom.
Wow. So you put it on Facebook and let me know how I can advertise that.
Yeah, it might take a little while. It's kind of a big file, but
Do it in the next couple of months. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Lily. I love you for so many reasons.
I love you so much. That was so moving. I mean, it's insane. Who has this life you have? You're such a gem. You're one of a kind, and you mean so much to so many people.
Thank you. It goes both ways. They've made my life, and give me my life. I'll see you soon, Lily. Thank
All right.
you.
Happy birthday. Have a wonderful evening. Mwah. Love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.